Only change is the pitcher. Fairly Hannon just wasn't feeling it, so they're going to be going with 5. Bennett Anderson. 5 Bennett Anderson is going to be their starting pitcher. Yeah. I don't think they realize that you have the game. I know one guy who doesn't know that information.
Yeah, I did not.
I know you told the manager and I know you told the PA announcer, but until you tell the play-by-play guy.
I can't talk. My hair's getting long now.
The Keys had a start this year. Well, that's good. Is that the only line change?
That's it, yeah, which I was worried we were going to get sometimes, oh, he's going to
Fox 9's Town Ball Tour is presented by JTR Roofing.
The Fox 9 Town Ball Tour makes a stop at Bentfield Mills Park in Buffalo, Minnesota on a Wednesday night here in Minnesota, as once again week 2 of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour to be the Buffalo Bulldogs facing the Howard Lake Orphans tonight in North Star League Baseball. Looks to be a good evening for some baseball here this evening in Buffalo, as once again it's North Star League Baseball. The Bulldogs hosting the Orphans, and it is week 2 once again of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour. Should be a fun evening. I'm Mark Fry, Greg Wolfer is producing, and Charles Brolin is behind the camera this evening, as it's a special night here in Buffalo. Plenty of fans out here in the stands braving the warm weather. It was plenty hot getting here today in the upper 90s. The temperature still in the lower 90s here. We had a bit of rain move through the area just to the northwest of us. However, it looks like it will in fact remain a beautiful night for baseball as that temperature starts to drop here just a little bit. The wind is blowing in this evening, so looks to be a good evening for some baseball. Let's take a look at the starting lineups here tonight. It'll be the Howard Lake Orphans led off by Alex Bauman wearing number 7. He's over at shortstop. Noah Bush is batting second. He's a second baseman. Jake Gruenhagen is at first base batting third. Batting cleanup is Brad Bickman. He's over at third base. Cole Macheski, he is batting fifth out in right field. Mitchell Bauman, he's in the sixth hole tonight. He's behind the plate. Batting seventh is Brock Gels. He's out in left field. Sam Katak is the designated hitter. He's batting eighth, and Matt Strike is the center fielder, rounding out the top 9 hitters for the Howard Lake Orphans tonight, who come in at 2-2 in this North Star League baseball division, as they'll look to crack some things here. They're at an even 500. They'll face off against the Buffalo Bulldogs at 4-1 on the mound for the Bulldogs tonight. It'll be John Early looking for his third win here in the North Star League baseball. For the home team, the Buffalo Bulldogs leading off. It'll be Colton Haight behind the plate. Cal James, he's batting second over at third base. Jake Dusky, a big hitter for this Bulldogs team. He's batting third. He's at second base. Batting cleanup, J.D. O'Donnell, batting .478. He's out in left field. Batting fifth, Ramon Vega Jr. He's out in center field. Batting seventh, Brent Renshaw. He's out in right field, batting seventh. It'll be Kai Brisk over at first base, batting eighth. Noah Christensen at shortstop, and Josh Fusi. He's a designated hitter, rounding out the bottom of the order for the Buffalo Bulldogs. Again at 4-1. Corey Brown is the manager for the Buffalo Bulldogs, and there's a host of managers here for this Orphans team. It's Mike Dockendorf, Shane Heber, Mike Kittock, and Chris Bickman, the coaches for the Howard Lake Orphans. Again, happy to have you along tonight on Fox 9 Live. As I said at the top of the broadcast, week number 2 of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour. As you see both teams making their way onto the field this evening, we'll have a ceremonial first pitch coming up here, as well as the national anthem, so plenty to get to here on Fox 9 Live. We'll actually step aside for the national anthem. This is North Star League Baseball on Fox 9 Live.
The playing of our national anthem.
And our national anthem, once again, the Buffalo Bulldogs, the Howard Lake Orphans tonight here on Fox 9 Live, the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour. And now we'll see the ceremonial first pitches tonight. It'll be Randy Haskins and Jason Opsal.
Creating town ball teams in Buffalo. Welcome to the field, Randy Haskins and Jason Opsal.
Both individuals highly regarded here in the town of Buffalo for their town ball teams. As once again, Randy Haskins and Jason Opsal are headed out to the mound.
Mills, who was instrumental in building this complex, they created the town ball team, the Buffalo Merchants, in 1979. The Merchants played here for 21 years until the team dismantled after the 1999 season. Buffalo was without a town ball team for the next 2 years. That's when Jason Opsal, a 1999 Buffalo graduate and player on that final Merchants team, decided to try to get the band back together. It would take, and please pardon the pun, it would take Bulldog mentality to do so. Jason brought together former Merchant players, other guys he grew up playing baseball with, and some of Buffalo High School's top young talent to play in the squad. Just a few years after Buffalo barely had the 9 guys to fill out a lineup card, Jason put together a gaudy 36-man roster known as the tenacious and alliterative Buffalo Bulldogs, still going strong now in its 20th season. We say thank you, Randy and Jason, for bringing town ball to Buffalo.
And again, Randy Haskins and Jason Opsal being honored here prior to tonight's game between the Buffalo Bulldogs and the Howard Lake Orphans. And here they go with their first pitch of the night. And a little high and outside, but drops just in for a strike, it looked like. So again, Randy Haskins and Jason Opsal. The ceremonial first pitches here tonight, as once again, Howard Lake will send Alex Bauman, Noah Bush, and Jake Gruenhagen to the dish here in the top of inning number 1. As John Early will take the mound here this evening. He's 2-0 on the year, his 3rd start, 11 innings pitched for John Early so far in league play for the North Star League. As once again, 4-1 are the Bulldogs, 2-2 are the Orphans, and here come the Bulldogs. A round of applause, a good crowd on store down the first baseline. Plenty of fans in their lawn chairs, and here in the stands, plenty of fans as well. I got here at about maybe 5 o'clock this afternoon. People were already marking their territories with their lawn chairs and their blankets, things like that, trying to get in and find a good parking spot, a good place to sit, and certainly a welcomed shaded evening here, as it has been a hot one here across the state of Minnesota, especially here in Buffalo the past several days. And temperature is dipping a little bit, it feels like, as the clouds have rolled in. As I said, we did have a little bit of rain to the northwest earlier prior to the game. It looks like that has steered clear of the area for now, so we will see. Hopefully that can stick or stay away here tonight on a beautiful Wednesday night in Buffalo. Good crowd on store once again, Buffalo and Howard Lake. Let's run down the order for the Orphans again. It's Alex Bauman, Noah Bush, Jake Gruenhagen, Brad Bickman, Cole Macheski, Mitchell Bauman, Brock Gels, Sam Katak, and Matt Strike, the starting 9 for the Howard Lake Orphans. Colton Haight, he's behind the plate tonight for the Bulldogs. Cal James, he's over at third base. Jake Dusky at second base, one of their best players that we'll spotlight quite a bit tonight. We'll see him at batting third for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first, batting .444. J.D. O'Donnell, he's out in left field. Ramon Vega Jr. out in center field. Brett Renshaw's out in right field. Kai Brisk over at first base. Noah Christensen at shortstop. And Josh Fusi is the designated hitter tonight. Again on the mound, John Early. Bennett Anderson will be on the mound for the Howard Lake Orphans here tonight. We're set for pitch number 1. Happy to have you alongside on a Wednesday night for some North Star League baseball, the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour, week number 2 in Buffalo. Early out of the windup, first pitch is across for strike number 1. Tonight's umpires, Dave Malley, Rich Lindsay. 2-man umpiring crew tonight. The 0-1 early starting on top here. And the 0-1 out of the windup. This one swung on, hit out to right field. Coming up to make the catches, Renshaw for out number 1. So a quick first out here, 2 pitches and 1 out as Noah Bush steps to the plate.
Batting second for Howard Lake. The second baseman, number 3, Noah Bush.
Noah Bush batting .500 on the year. Couple of extra base hits, 2 doubles for him so far. No runs scored, no runs driven in. And the second batter of the night, this one's ripped right up the middle. That'll be through for the first hit of the night. So a 1-out single here for Noah Bush, and a runner on for the Orphans here in the top of the first. That'll mean Jake Gruenhagen steps in. The first baseman batting third. Brad Bickman is due up behind him. Gruenhagen again batted .167 on the season. Just 1 run batted in so far for the lefty, a righty versus lefty matchup, as Bush takes a lead over at first. Early takes a look back, and he looks in, delivers. That one is a breaking ball just on the outside part of the plate for strike number 1. We'll see how Early handles being out of the stretch for the first time early in the top of the first. And he winds and delivers. Breaking ball on the outside, not quite inside, even sinks up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, for the Bulldogs, they won their four of their first 5 games this season. That first loss came this last Sunday, 7-4 against Hutchinson. And they'll send the runner from first to second, maybe a hit and run. They'll avoid the double play, but they'll go over to first just in time as Dusky didn't have a play over at second, made the smart play as they'll go 4-3 for out number 2. Bush does run up to second base, so with 2 away here in the top of the first, it'll be Brad Bickman, the third baseman, hitting .250 on the season. He'll look to capitalize with a runner at second here in the top of inning number 1. Bickman, 1 run driven in. No extra base hits so far for the righty, and that one is in for strike number 1, just on the outside part of the plate. 2 away here, top of inning number 1. 1 hit so far, Noah Bush, a single right up the center of the diamond as he takes a lead at second. Early looks back, and he'll come to the plate with it and tries to work the outside part of the plate once again. And that one evens it up at 1 ball, 1 strike. He's been trying to find that outside part of the plate so far early on in the top of the first. And the 1-1, that one in the dirt for ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, left to right in the outfield. It'll be O'Donnell, Vega Jr., and Renshaw. Left field, center field, right field. Hates behind the plate tonight. Brisk over at first. Dusky at second. James over at third base. Christensen is at shortstop. 2 away for the Bulldogs, and this one's ripped in between first and second, and Dusky gets it, not in time, going to play it at home at the plate, not in time, and the RBI single as Bush clears it to second, and they throw it down to second as Bickman is thrown out, but 1 run does score. 1-0 after the top of the first, the RBI single from Brad Bickman, and it's 1-0. The Buffalo Bulldogs due up next. We'll be back after this on Fox 9 Live.
Take the rest.
1-0 the score as we enter the bottom of inning number 1. The Buffalo Bulldogs due up here in this home half of the first. Colton Haight, Cal James, Jake Dusky all due up here. All 3 batting over 300, so they'll look to attack early on here, down 1 after the RBI single from Brad Bickman in the top of the first. Scored 1 for the Howard Lake Orphans. But once again, he was thrown out at second, though, trying to extend the play to second base. However, Haight gunned him down over at second, so 1-0 the score. And on the mound tonight, it'll be Bennett Anderson. It's his first North League start here tonight. and he's got an early lead, 1-0 the score. Again, the Bulldogs coming in at 4-1 overall. Howard Lake Orphans at 2-2 here in the North Star League. Haight batting .385 here, wearing number 18. Ten hits on the year. Five extra base hits, and he'll lead things off here. As again, Bennett Anderson makes his first North Star League start. He'll start out of the windup, and a bunt showed, and he'll save strike number one. 2 hits so far for the Howard Lake Orphans, all in the top of the first. Here in the bottom of the first, the Bulldogs still down 1-0. Haight, James, and Dusky, the first 3 hitters for the Bulldogs. And that one's on the outside for strike number 2. So back-to-back good pitches there from Bennett Anderson, and he starts on top in his first inning of the night. And the 0-2. That one's ripped out to left field. Gonna have some trouble. That one is down for the first hit of the night as Haight turns for 2, and it's a leadoff double to start it off tonight for the Bulldogs on their home field. Good pitch there to let loose out to left field. Haight down early, 0-2, but that didn't phase him at all, and that's why he's batting .385 on the year now. Cal James steps in. He has an opportunity with a runner at second. James hitting .333 on the year. A trio of doubles to his name, on base percentage .433 as well. That's one of the things that this Bulldogs team does very well, is they are able to get on base, and you saw it right there, down 0-2. Colton Haight just put a swing into that one, and now Cal James steps in, batting .333 on the year. And here's the first pitch to James. That one on the outside for strike number 1. Anderson looks in out of the stretch as Haight leads over at second. This one's ripped out into center field as Strike will step up and make the catch and launches this one to third base. It's going to be cut off by Bickman over at third base. As worried about Haight, but that would have been a tough run for Haight over to third. So James flies out to center field. Jake Dusky steps in, batting .444. He's got 3 homers on the season, and he leads the team in home runs this year. And he'd love to put one over the fence here. The wind is blowing in here. 310 down the left and right field lines, 385 down to center field. As the fans getting riled up here as the Fox 9 crew makes their way into the stands. As Anderson gets set to deliver his first pitch to Dusky. Righty versus righty matchup, that one on the outside for ball number 1. One away here, bottom of the first, 1-0 the score. This one's launched into left field, carrying back. That's going to be down, and it's at the fence. That'll score 1 as Dusky rounds 2, an RBI double for Dusky, and it's 1-1 in the bottom of the first. So Dusky lets it rip here at the bottom of the first. 1-1 the score. J.D. O'Donnell will now step in with still 1 away here in the bottom of the first. O'Donnell batting .478 on the year, so a good cleanup hitter in O'Donnell. Dusky and O'Donnell both batting over .400 this year. And Anderson faces the heart of the lineup, and this one's hit out into short right center field. That'll score Dusky from second. And they'll try to stretch it for 2. It's back-to-back doubles for the Bulldogs here, and they lead 2-0 on the RBI double from J.D. O'Donnell here in the bottom of the first. The Bulldogs rolling early. That's something they've been doing all season long, as they've averaged 12 runs per game so far in their games this year. So this team knows how to light it up offensively. On the opposite side for Howard Lake, that's been a struggle for them, getting runners to the home plate as they've been able to get runners on base, but just have struggled to get runners home offensively. So 2 are across here in the bottom of the first, 1 away, and that one is fouled off into the backstop. As Ramon Vega Jr. steps in, his first plate appearance tonight. He's batting .383, center fielder for the Buffalo Bulldogs. We'll go around the horn here in just a second for the Orphans tonight for Howard Lake. As the 0-1, and that one's just on the inside of the plate for strike number 2, 0-2. Alex Bauman's at shortstop, Noah Bush at second base, Jake Gruenhagen's at first base, Brad Bickman is over at third, Cole Macheski's in right field, Mitchell Bauman, he's behind the plate tonight, Brock Gell's over in left field, and Matt Strike is in center field for the Orphans. This one is ripped down the left field line, carrying back, and over to his right to make the play is Gell's for out number 2, and that one looked like it was good off the bat, but just too much carry underneath it, so allowed out number 2. As now Brett Renshaw steps in with 2 runs across already, 3 hits for the Bulldogs so far. And a runner still at second. That's J.D. O'Donnell down at second. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters all due up in the top of the second for Howard Lake. 2 away here, and that one is tipped back for strike number 1 to Brett Renshaw. Renshaw hitting .263 on the year. Just 1 extra base hit for Renshaw so far. That was a triple. As he steps in, got the long flowing hair coming out of the batter's helmet. This one is launched into left field. Back and going and gone. A home run, a 2-run blast here in the bottom of the first makes it 4-1 off the bat of Brett Renshaw. So after starting the inning down 1-0, the Bulldogs have rallied off 4 straight here in the bottom of the first, including that 2-run blast into left field. And that's an extra base hit there for Brett Renshaw as he smiles and meets his teammates in the dugout. The Bulldogs rocking early here on Fox 9 Live as the Town Ball Tour. So far, so good for the home team as now Kai Brisk steps in at .381 this season. He's a first baseman for the Bulldogs. That one looked on the inside part of the plate and just caught the inside portion of the plate for strike number 1. 2 away here, bottom of the first, 4 runs across on 4 hits. On 3 hits. Actually, it is 4 hits. So 4 runs on 4 hits here. And that one is skipped into the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. And now the 1-2. This one is ripped down the third base line. Goes well foul, though, out of play. As they'll reset here as a rough start to the game for Bennett Anderson. As I said, North Star League, his first start of his North Star League season this year coming tonight. And a swing and a miss there as that will end it here in the bottom of the first. 4 runs are across on 4 hits. No one left on base. 4-1 the score after 1. We head to the top of the second. This is the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour on Fox Live.
Discover more with the Fox 9 Daily Newsletter. Go to fox9.com/email to join and get top stories, original features, and special offers delivered to your inbox. Sign up at fox9.com/email.
High school state tournament time is coming quickly, and PrepSpotlight.tv is your place to watch the chase for the state championships. Full coverage of the state softball tournament from North Mankato begins on June 15th and ends with 4 title games on June 16th. You will see every round of the state lacrosse tournament from Rosemount. The girls' championship is on June 18th, the boys on the 19th. Track and field at St. Michael Albertville begins on June 17th, and you can watch every athlete, every event in both classes. And the boys baseball tournament will be covered from quarterfinals on June 15th through the big championship day at Target Field on Friday, June 18th. If you can't be at the games, you can watch it all at PrepSpotlight.tv.
4-1 as we enter the top of inning number 2. It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Howard Lake Orphans after a 4-run bottom of the first for the Buffalo Bulldogs. Orphans need to respond here and get something going. Again, back out on the mound is John Early, as he had a good first inning, did let one run across there in the top of the first for the Howard Lake Orphans, but he'll look to settle it down here. Again, he comes in at 2-0 on this season. Again, the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour, year number 4, and this is the second week of this year's edition. And Bentfield Mills Park, my first time here, happy to be here. It's a nice drive from the West Metro of the Twin Cities, as the first pitch of the top of the second is just outside for ball number 2. But they went all out here, as they've got the food vendors, the concession stands, the tents. They've got everything going here this evening. Again, at the plate is Cole Macheski, hitting .500 on the year. The open stance for the center fielder. Watches that one in the eyes for a ball. And it's 3 balls, 1 strike to Macheski. And that one in for a strike as Early runs it full. Now for Howard Lake, a tough start to league play. However, they have been able to win the past 2 North Star League games, Litchfield and Loretto. And that one is chopped over to third. It's going to be gloved by James. Fires it across in time, and he's going to be out as it goes 5-3 for the first out in the top of the second. That'll mean Mitchell Bauman steps in as he's hitting .332 on the year. He's a catcher. Macheski, that is Macheski. He's been good for this team as he just grounded out, though, hitting .500, 7 for 14, 2 extra base hits, driven in 7 runs for the Orphans. Missed an opportunity there just to try to get on base. This one is fouled back by Bauman as he starts down 0-1. Both pitchers not afraid to throw strikes, and that's really all you got to ask of your pitchers here on a night like this when it's warm, just trying to get out of the inning as quickly as you can. Both Early and Anderson have been doing that so far. This one's lifted into center field as Vega Jr. steps up, has a read on this one for out number 2. Back-to-back outs here for the Orphans in their top of the second. That'll be Brock Gell steps up, hitting 125. Out of the 7th spot.
Left fielder number 14, Brock Gels.
And for that offensive spark that the Bulldogs had in the bottom of the first, they're itching to get back to the batter's box, as it'll be the 8-9 and top of the order in the bottom of the second for the Bulldogs, as out of the windup Early lets this one fire. A big swing there from Gelsey, swings right through it for strike number 1. 2 away here, top of inning number 2 at Bentfield Mills Park. Got started just after 7 o'clock here, and this one's lifted foul coming back, and that'll miss the stands here. It's one of the dangers here at Bentfield Mills Park, is the parking lot's not too far out of foul territory, so we'll hope that that stays away from some of the parked cars out here tonight. The 0-2. And that one misses in the dirt for ball number 1. And the 1-2 from Early, and that one is going to miss for ball number 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here, top of inning number 2. 4 hits for the Bulldogs, 2 hits for the Orphans so far in a 4-1 ball game. The first two hitters have been sat down. Cole Macheski, he grounded out over to third base. Mitchell Bauman flew out to center field. Brock Ells will try to make something out of what maybe looks like nothing. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. This one is ripped down to third base. James has it and throws it over across the diamond for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down as it's the 8-9 and top of the order in the bottom of the second. The Bulldogs lead 4-1 here on Fox 9 Live.
This is Fox 9 Plus.
Let's get started, everybody.
Today's biggest talkers.
Charles and I have been talking about this all morning.
Award-winning comedy.
This gets better and better.
Minnesota's only local news at 7.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Plus,
More good news.
a whole lot more.
More than this? More than we can use.
Game shows, court shows,
Now we're getting somewhere.
your shows. Fox 9 Plus. Something for everyone.
Four-one the score in the bottom of inning number 2 as it'll be the 8-9 and top of the order as you need to visit the official website of the Minnesota Baseball Association to learn about this year's state tournaments and get all the latest scores from around the state. mnbaseball.org has all the information you need and links you to all the teams' pages. Again, that's mnbaseball.org. Was on that site quite a bit in preparation for this game, and it's fun to see how the teams are doing this year. So mnbaseball.org, and you know, getting ready for a broadcast like this, 2 teams I have been able to see so far this year, and it's fun to see how it all comes together out there on the diamond. Got to give a shout out though to the managers and coaches for both sides helping me out. Corey Braun, a huge help for the Bulldogs. Chris Bickman as well for the Orphans, helping me with some of the information as well. So a shout out to them, as that's always a nice part, is when you've got coaches that want you there and want you to do a good job and really want to highlight their players out there on the diamond. And so far so good for the Buffalo Bulldogs here as they start the bottom of the second inning. Noah Christensen steps in, and this one's laced out to left field as Gels goes to his left and covers plenty of ground for out number 1. But man, he had to get on his horse for that one. Out number 1. And Josh Fusi steps in, the designated hitter. He's batting for John Early, the pitcher tonight. Fusi batting .267 on the year. Just an extra base hit so far. 1 extra base hit. That was a double earlier this year. He'll step in the bottom of the order. And this one's chopped over to the third. That'll get through. Good play by Bauman over at shortstop, but it's going to be an infield single for Fusi, and he's on with 1 away as they'll reset the order. Colton Haight steps up. He doubled, came around to score on the RBI single from Jake Dusky in the bottom of the first. Officially 1 for 1 tonight. Again, Colton Haight batting .385 coming into tonight. The catcher steps in. It's O'Donnell, Vega Jr., it's Gels, Strike, Macheski, left to right in the outfield. Bauman's behind the plate. Gruenhagen's over at first, Bush at second. Bickman is at third, and then Bauman again over at shortstop. 2 different Baumans here tonight. First pitch, this one's right up the middle as the umpire has to get out of the way. They get 1 and over for a double play to end the inning as it goes 4-6-3 to end the inning, and we'll head to the top of inning number 3. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base, no runs. 4-1 the score. To the top of the third we go. This is the Town Ball Tour from Fox 9 on Fox 9 Live.
I have a question. Yes, your cologne is too strong.
Where is Schitt's Creek?
You told me to keep it a secret, and that's exactly what I did, even from myself.
On Fox 9 Plus.
Oh my God. Can I watch?
Where's Fox 9 Plus? Here's Fox 9 Plus.
Oh my God, this gets better and better.
Schitt's Creek, weeknights at 9:30.
There will be a surprise, and there will be tears, even if they're just my own.
On Fox 9 Plus.
So Howard Lake got a much-needed 1-2-3 bottom of the second. They trail 4-1 as we enter the top of inning number 3. Again, this is North Star League Baseball on Fox 9 Live, the second week of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour, as they continue to go across towns in Minnesota, featuring different town ball teams. This week, it's the Buffalo Bulldogs at Bentfield Mills Park. Again, a beautiful facility. As I was talking to Corey Braun earlier tonight, he was saying how much care they put into this ballpark, and you can tell. You walk up to it, you just know they love this place and they want to keep it fresh and invest their time into it just to make sure that they have a nice place to play. And you can tell that the fans love it, and it's a great place to broadcast, sitting up in the bleachers and just being with the crowd on a Wednesday night as the wind is rolling in. Just a beautiful night for baseball in the state of Minnesota. And next week, the Minnesota High School State Softball and Baseball High School tournaments will start and come to an end with state championships next week. So a lot of baseball and softball across the state of Minnesota. And that one is across for ball number 1. As here in the top of inning number 3, it's Sam Katok, Matt Strike, and Alex Bauman due up for the Orphans, and that's across for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, as Early has looked good so far. Just 1 run on 2 hits against Early in his campaign. This one's hit right back up to him right on cue, and he'll just underhand this one over to Brisk at first as it goes 1-3 to start off the top of the third. Matt Strike steps in, a good bottom of the order guy hitting 400.
Center fielder number 23, Matt Strike.
And they'll try to get things going after a busy top of the first for the Orphans, as they had 1 run on 2 hits, a quiet top of the second, a 1-2-3 top of the second for the Orphans. And this one is laced down the third base line, goes foul. Oh, 1 to strike. And a swing and a miss there. He's down 0-2 quickly. Early again having a nice inning so far on the mound, as his last inning, 1-2-3. No strikeouts yet for Early on the mound. Through 2 1/3. And that one misses high in the eyes of Matt Strike to make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Early, and this one is chopped foul. After a strike, they'll reset to the top of the order. Alex Bauman due up. He put the ball in play in the top of the first to start things off. And that one is high for ball number 2. Orphans coming off a 10-3 non-league loss Sunday. And this one is coming back, and catcher's got a play on it as Haight drops a mask and makes a nice play. That was a tough one. Looked like the wind was carrying the ball just a little bit, though. Helped with the mask off. And 2 away here as we reset the order. Alex Bauman at the top of the order. The shortstop coming into tonight, hitting .286. Again, he flew out to right field, 0 for 1 in this one. Early looking for another 1-2-3 inning. That one is fouled back into the concession stand area. Looked like it missed everybody and finds its way all the way to the game going on behind us. So the 0-1 from Early. The high leg kick, and this one goes foul. Carrying off, and it's going to be a tough play down the third base line. It looked like James was going to try to get to it. Cal James over at third base, but a lot of show down the third base line, and now it's 0-2. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up in the bottom of the third for the Buffalo Bulldogs. And the 0-2 from Early. That one misses high for ball number 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Howard Lake, a very rich history, 14 state tournaments, their last one. And a swing and a miss, foul tip, so that ends it with a strikeout, the first strikeout on the night on the mound for John Early. So a 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. To the bottom of the third we go. It's, again, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. 4-1 the score. We're back after this on Fox 9 Live.
High school state tournament time is coming quickly, and PrepSpotlight.tv is your place to watch the chase for the state championships. Full coverage of the state softball tournament from North Mankato begins on June 15th and ends with 4 title games on June 16th. You will see every round of the state lacrosse tournament from Rosemount. The girls' championship is on June 18th, the boys on the 19th. Track and field at St. Michael Albertville begins on June 17th, and you can watch every athlete, every event in both classes. And the boys' baseball tournament will be covered from quarterfinals on June 15th to the big championship day at Target Field on Friday, June 18th. If you can't be at the games, you can watch it all at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Fox 9 Morning News. All local, all morning.
Are you nervous?
I am nervous.
Join us tomorrow on Fox 9 Morning News.
So back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings defensively for the Buffalo Bulldogs. They'll step back up to the plate, up 4-1. All 4 of those runs coming in the bottom of the first, including a 2-run blast from Brett Renshaw, as he really opened it up there in the bottom of the first, as it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Buffalo Bulldogs here in the bottom of the third. Again, my name is Mark Fry. Producing tonight, Greg Wolfert. Charles Brolin is behind the camera, and Andy Price on scene as well here on Fox 9 Live. Happy to be back with everybody once again. Beautiful night for baseball here at historic Bentfield Mills Park. Bennett Anderson back on the mound for another inning of work. A slow breaking ball on the outside, misses for ball number 1. Jake Dusky is due up next. This one's ripped into right field. That's going to get down, or no, it won't. It'll be Macheski stepping up to make the catch. So one away here for Jake Dusky, one of the best players here, hitting .444, on base percentage of .516. Has an RBI double to his name tonight, 1 for 1 officially. Leads the team in homers as well with 3. Here's a pitch to Dusky. That one misses on the outside for ball number 1. And that one misses for ball number 2. And the 2-0. That one's in for strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. We'll go around the diamond again here. As out in left field, it's Brock Gels. In center field, Matt Strike. Out in right field, Cole Macheski. As that one misses for ball number 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Behind the plate tonight, Mitchell Bauman for the Orphans. Over at first base, that's Jake Gruenhagen. At second base, Noah Bush. And that one will be for ball number 4. That'll send Dusky down to first on the walk. Now J.D. O'Donnell steps in. He's got an RBI as well tonight. He's another one that's been mashing at the plate. .478 coming into tonight, and 1 for 1 already with an RBI. Dusky takes a lead over at first. They'll check him back in time as they'll reset. As I was saying, Noah Bush is over at second. Alex Bauman is at shortstop. And Brad Bickman is at third base. And this one's laced out to left field. Going back, making the play is Gels right in front of the fence. So the outfield has had a busy bottom of the third here. The first out was out to right field, and the second out coming out to left field. Ramon Vega Jr. steps in for his second plate appearance. 0 for 1 tonight with a runner over at first. Vega Jr. steps in. His dad is actually going to be inducted to the North Star League Baseball Hall of Fame coming up later this year. As I was learning about this team, was told he was been a staple to this program for a very long time, as that one is in for a strike. It's always nice when you can find those families who just love baseball, and it bleeds into the community, as you see here in Buffalo. Such a strong passion for baseball here in the Buffalo community, and they'll send him from first to second, ripped out to center field. A good play for a strike, though. So just one hit, no runs, no errors, one left on base for the Bulldogs. 4-1 the score. To the top of the fourth we go. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters all due up for the Orphans when we come back. This is Fox 9 Live.
Good morning, Dale.
Rise and shine with the Garden Guy on the Fox 9 Morning News.
And I'm so ready to start planting.
Helping you create your space and explore new ground.
Right on the money. Absolutely fantastic.
Dale K is always in season.
Oh, love him, love him, love him.
Watch the Garden Guy Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Fox 9 Morning News.
Four-1 the score, top of inning number 4. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Noah Bush, Jake Gruenhagen, and Brad Bickman all due up. They were the offensive spark in the top of the first for the Howard Lake Orphans. They'll look to get things going here in the top of inning number 4. Be sure to keep an eye on Fox 9 News tonight at 9 o'clock for a look at all the fun and festivities from today's Town Hall Ball Tour stop in Buffalo. Remember, next Wednesday, Fox 9 visits Delano as Athletics hosts the Loretto Larks for Week 3 of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour that keeps on moving on here in the month of June. Beautiful night here at Bentfield Mills Park in Buffalo, Minnesota. We'll try to catch up with Don Mitchell in the 5th inning here from Fox 9 Sports, and we'll talk a little baseball with her and talk about what drew them here to Buffalo. Sure to be an interesting conversation. Again, that'll be coming up in the 5th inning here tonight on Fox 9 Live. Again, my name's Mark Fry. Happy to be with you for some Wednesday night baseball. Noah Bush digs in. He's 1 for 1 so far tonight. Came around to score the only run so far for the Orphans on the scoreboard. And even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Just 1 strikeout on the mound so far for John Early, but he's been pitching well. Just the 1 run across in that top of the first. Really has settled down, been throwing a lot of strikes. His defense has been playing well, as you expect them to here, as the Bulldogs have put together a nice stretch here. 4-1 on the season. A lot of that defensively, but you have to look offensively as well for Buffalo. Averaging 12 runs per game so far this season, just lighting up the scoreboard against their opponents so far. And they've got a 3-run lead. 3-1. That one misses for ball number 4. That'll send Bush down to first on the walk. And that's the first walk issued tonight by Early.
First baseman number 17, Jake Gruenhagen.
The 3rd start of the season for Early as he continues to settle in here in this early part of the season, really. Just trying to build on his momentum. 2-0 so far. Fouled back by Jake Gruenhagen. Gruenhagen grounded out to second base in his first at-bat in the top of the first. Brad Bickman is due up out of the cleanup spot here in the top of the 4th for the Orphans. 4-1 the score, 2 hits for Howard Lake so far on the board. Bush taking a lead over at first. Early looks over his shoulder and he'll come to the plate. Misses high with ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Dave Malley, Rich Lindsay, the officials here tonight. And they'll send him from first to second. The throw down to second. Going to be a close play. Not in time. A stolen base for Noah Bush. Now they'll move him 90 feet up. Jake Gruenhagen looks up and says, hey, we can get a run back here. As Bush had a good jump on that pitch. And you could tell over at first he was itching to go. And jumped on the opportunity. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here. No outs, top of the 4th. And this one is lifted down the third base line as James moves to his right for out number 1. And that'll be Brad Bickman steps in. And an RBI single got thrown out, trying to stretch it into 2 for the final out in the top of the 1st. So look for a second RBI of the night with a runner at second. Bush with the wheels. I think a single could probably score Bush, as it did in the top of the 1st. With one away, a breaking ball that doesn't break enough. That one runs in and hits Bickman as he'll march it down to first base. That's always nice. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the pitch to get hit by, because it's not a fastball into the back of the shoulder blade. So Bickman gets down to first base. That'll put him at second and first for Cole Macheski, the right fielder. Grounded out to the third baseman in his first at bat in the top of the 2nd. That one misses on the outside for strike. Oh, it's going to be a strike. Looked like it was just going to be off the plate, but they say it's a strike for strike number 1. Wind starting to blow out of the northwest here a little bit here in Buffalo. This one is going to be over the second baseman's head. Almost a highlight reel catch, and that's going to load him up here in the top of the 4th. Man, that would have been quite the play by Dusky over at second. Just couldn't get it in his glove. He had the hops to do it, just tipped off his glove. So everyone is safe, and the bases are full here in the top of the 4th for Mitchell Bauman, the catcher, at 0 for 1 tonight. And a huge opportunity for the Orphans here in the top of the 4th. So 1 away. Early looks in, bases loaded. This one's in between third and shortstop. That'll score at least 1. They'll send him from third. It'll score 2. A 2-run single on the top of the 4th makes it 4-3. Howard Lake trails by 1 in the top of the 4th. Now they're going to say there's going to be an out possibly at first base as they're arguing with the official. I don't think they're going to say he's out. And it looks like he's going to be safe. So runners safe at first and second. Nonetheless, 2-run score here as Bush scores, as does Bickman. Again, 2-run single there for Bauman, makes it 4-3 as Macheski makes it up to second base. As now they're going to argue things right off the pitcher's mound, it looks like, saying they thought Bauman was going to be out at first. And now Brock Gell steps in with an opportunity with just 1 out, and his team now down by 1 run. An opportunity here in the top of the 4th to keep this inning alive. And maybe the most frustrating part for early on the mound is both of those runs were the ones he walked and one person that he hit. Brad Bickman, he got hit by the pitch, and Noah Bush walked to start off the inning. So both of those runs coming across without really any work at the plate. And the 0-1, that one misses for ball number 2. Sorry, 2 balls, no strikes. Just 1 away here in the top of the 4th. 2 runs across. Two hits here in the top of the 4th. And that one is down low, strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. They said it was strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. As the sun starts to peek out just a little bit behind the clouds to the northwest here. And the 2-1 chop to second. Tags him out in between first and second, and a double play. So it goes 4-3. in the double play. That ends the inning, though. 2 runs across, 2 hits, none left on base. It's 4-3 after a big top of the 4th for the Orphans. We're back in the bottom of the 4th after this on Fox 9 Live.
This summer, Fox 9 Plus presents your St. Paul Saints. Friday night home games at 7, followed by fireworks on Fox 9 Plus. Here's where you can find Fox 9 Plus in your area.
It's a 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up here in the bottom of inning number 4 here on Fox 9 Live, the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour, year number 4, week number 2 of year number 4. And it's 4-3 here in the bottom of inning number 4. Brett Renshaw, he had the lightning in the bottom of the first, a 2-run blast that opened things up 4-1. However, the Orphans came rallying back there in the top of the 4th with 2 runs across to get within 1. And now Renshaw will step up and see how he can maybe provide another spark here tonight offensively. 1 for 1 tonight, that 2-run blast in the bottom of the 1st. Again, the temperature all day in the 90s, a little more manageable right now, especially as the sun has mainly stayed behind the clouds for the last about hour or so. Prior to the game, it looked like it was going to rain. That moved out of the area. Right now it says 88 degrees. Very manageable here in Buffalo, especially with the breeze just blowing in out of the northwest. Beautiful night for baseball. The lights are on at Bentfield Mills Park, and happy to be with you tonight on Fox 9 Live. Again, we're planning to be joined by Don Mitchell coming up here in the 5th inning. So we'll talk a little baseball with her and see what drew them here to Buffalo for Bulldog baseball. And a breaking ball appears to miss down low for ball number 1. And that one's in. Actually, it's going to be a ball. Back-to-back breaking balls just missed. 2 balls, no strikes. And that one's in for a strike as Anderson battles back, falling behind 2-0. Got to be careful when you're behind 2-0 not to lay one in right across the plate, especially to a guy that's already taken you a yard. So in this one goes foul to even things up at 2-2. Renshaw, one of the very few players, just one of 2 players in the starting 9 for the Bulldogs that's not batting above 300. So looking to join the 300 club here in this season as that one misses. Runs at full. 3 balls, 2 strikes here. Pretty impressive. The 3 and 4 hitters for the Bulldogs. Dusky 444, O'Donnell 478. Ripped down the third baseline. That goes foul immediately. And they'll reset and run it full yet again. Good showcase of fans looking down the first base line. The lawn chairs are about 2 or 3 rows deep here as those were established early prior to this game as that one misses inside for the walk. So Renshaw reaches via the walk. Kai Brisk steps in. The strikeout victim in his first at-bat in the bottom of the first. 0 for 1 tonight so far. Brisk steps in, and as I was saying, all but 2 of these hitters in the Bulldogs starting 9 are batting under 3 or above 300, and Kai Brisk is at 381 coming into tonight. Launches this one out to left field, stepping up Gels for out number 1. A routine fly ball out to left field or 1 away. Noah Christensen steps in, or number 7 lined out to left field in his first at bat. In the bottom of the 2nd, Josh Fusi is due up after Christensen. Both of these teams were actually supposed to meet back in May, back on May 19th. Remember the last time we actually got some rain. What happened on May 19th because they weren't able to play due to rain. But able to get this one in here tonight. Bulldogs looking for a spark. They've been quiet. That one goes, and it's going to be fair down the third base line. And it's a single for Christensen. Sends Renshaw over to second base. As really Gels did a nice job cutting that one off down the left field line to really lessen the damage there for the Orphans here in the bottom of the fourth. So 2 runners on, just 1 away now for Josh Fusi, who steps in. It's part of a double play to end the bottom of the second. As he'll launch strike number 1, no balls, 1 strike. And the 0-1. Misses low for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, just outside of the outside part of the plate. You got to give Anderson credit out on the mound so far, though. He has been throwing strikes and maybe sometimes too good of strikes, as these hitters are not going to miss much for the Bulldogs. That one's tipped back for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, runners on first and second. Renshaw takes his lead at second. Christensen over at first. This one misses on the outside for a ball to run it 2 balls, 2 strikes. 5 hits for the Bulldogs so far. 4 hits for Howard Lake. No errors on either side so far. Clean baseball for both teams. This one will be chopped down the third baseline. Steps it on third for the out. Over to first base for out number 2. A double play to end the inning. Back-to-back at-bats for Fusi, where he's doubled out to end the inning. So we will be back in the top of the 5th. The score 4-3. Howard Lake due up next. This is Fox 9 Live.
When storms roll in, turn to Fox 9 and stay sky aware with the Fox 9 weather app and at fox9.com.
The score in the top of inning number 5. I'm Mark Fry here on Fox 9 Live. Don Mitchell joins us. And Don, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. This is a blast.
A beautiful night, and obviously it looked like it was going to be maybe rain, but the heat has subsided so far, and we'll just take a seat here quick. But Don, tell me a little bit about coming to Buffalo. What was it about Buffalo that drew you here to want to feature town ball in Buffalo, Minnesota?
You know, we love coming to towns that not only embrace baseball, but embrace families and just love the game, but do it the right way. So, and then we also try to go to ballparks that have a unique flavor. So this definitely has it. I love it here, and I hear on Friday there's going to be a Hall of Fame induction, so it's beautiful to come out here. Let me tell you, the drive here, fantastic. I got to see horses and farms. I live in the city, so it was wonderful.
Yeah, a little different. I come out of the West Metro, so it was nice to just see the different scenery and stuff, especially over the last year. It's been difficult to get out and see baseball, and it's such a treat after the ground out over there, 4-3, that goes one away here in the top of the fifth, and this one's ripped down the third baseline, so he'll be on. That's Matt Strike, who will reach on the single. But Don, tell me a little bit about what are you looking for when you come to these towns? Obviously, there's so many different stories that, are so focused on baseball. I come from a small town. I know what small town baseball means. What are you looking for when you come here?
Luckily, we have a whole team on our own that can get different flavors of the downtown. So being a sports reporter, I get to focus on the team. And, when you just look at the rosters, they don't tell the story. You have to start somewhere, and then you just start digging. I think it's just about having a conversation and finding out. So you find out about the families, like the Brings. They've got generations of people that are playing here. The Vegas, obviously. And then you find the characters within. I was just in the dugout, and when Brett Renshaw just hit the home run, and one of the guys said, we call him Pantene Pro V. That's the stuff I go for, right? Because that's the real stuff. That's the stuff that people at home, they want to know these guys as people.
That was a deep fly ball, but just foul as he just missed a home run again. Matt Strike at the dish right now, just missed a deep fly. That would have put him ahead. They still trail 4-3, but you're exactly right. Seeing that side of the dugout, especially on their home field, how do you feel? What vibe are you getting from them? Especially so many people, the TV cameras are here, the broadcast is going. Is it a little more tense in there, are you feeling, or what was the mood like inside that dugout?
When I walked in, I go, do you guys mind if I'm in here for one of my hits? They're like, nah, come on in. I mean, they were fun. So, you can always tell a club that's doing well in their season with how loose they are. And they were 4-1 at the time. I don't know if I walked in right now if they'd be as forgiving, but they were fantastic. And so you can tell that that's when they're so good.
Now, one of the things I thought was a little alarming, I heard they like to shotgun Red Bulls before the game. Did they offer you a Red Bull?
They did not.
Oh, wow.
No wings for me.
Oh, wow. That's tough. That is tough. I didn't think that sounded good on a hot day like this. But especially last week, you got things started, and this is the 4th year of the Town Ball Tour, correct? You're headed to Delano next week. So how do you pick the towns? I mean, what are you looking for in the towns? Just kind of different areas, or what are you looking for?
Thankfully, I don't have to pick them, right?
Okay.
I think that's hard. So we have our bosses. They put together, like, who have we not gone to, who has a strong following, who deserves our love, and we try to make sure that we're not all in one area, because it's all throughout. So I think for the first time in a couple of weeks in July, we're actually going to Minneapolis rather than out in a suburb. So, it's trying to give everyone a share of the love. We were at Howard Lake a couple of seasons ago, and it's funny for me to see some of the same faces in the crowd. So it's difficult. I think we try to go to following and iconic ballparks and the love of who shows up. And there's just so many here in Minnesota. There's so many.
Now, town ball and baseball, I've been learning a lot about town ball and baseball getting ready for this game. I didn't realize how much of a staple it was to the summer, just because I come from Iowa where summer baseball is dominated by high school sports and high school softball. It's a little different here in Minnesota, so the summers are dedicated to town ball, and I just find that so unique for an area. It gets hot, it gets humid, but this is what people come out for. I'm
from the East Coast originally. Now, I've been in the Midwest for quite some time. I was in Chicago before I came here, and when I first learned about town ball, I said, what is that? I mean, we had Legion Ball, and now where I'm from, there's also the Cape Cod League, so baseball was big back there. But this has been, I don't know if I should dare call it charming, because the baseball is amazing and I don't want to take away from it, but it's charming with the neighborhoods and the families and the people, and then you get great baseball on top. I love it.
Absolutely. Alex Bauman is at the plate right now as he just sent one into the concession stand. I think it missed everybody, though, and I think that's one of the fun things about this ballpark. It's so close. You got the fields behind us, the concession stands, people, right down the first baseline. That's an iconic scene, I think, to most summer baseball games is the lawn chairs down the first baseline. I think that's one of the fun things. Here's a pitch, and that one misses high for a ball to run it full. So still one away here. 4-3 the score in the top of inning number 5. Don Mitchell from Fox 9 joins us. And Don, I mean, when you're thinking about baseball, obviously the Twins are trying to come back, trying to make a season a tough series with the Yankees. And now a strikeout there for Bauman, 2 away. But what do you think about the hometown 9 in Minneapolis? It's been a tough go of it so far.
It has been a tough go of it. And as much as you would like to give leeway, because we're all coming off a pandemic, right? We're all trying to get back into the flow of things. You have time with the Twins at the beginning, and then the crunch comes on so fast. But, I believe you don't ever give up. You can make a run in June. You can things can happen. So I don't give up. I think the Twins still have it. They've got pitching and they have hitting. They've had, unfortunately, some injuries, but hopefully they can start stringing together something consistent and get the mojo going.
Exactly, especially when it starts to warm up. I don't know if this kind of heat helps. I mean, when you're out covering stories like this, I mean, are there secrets to staying cool when it's this hot out? Especially, I mean, everyone has their secret, I feel like.
It's funny you're saying that because with Ramon Vega Sr., I was giving him some, woo!
That'll be out number 3.
And that was close and good.
That was a heck of a play over at second base. But I apologize. We'll have to head to break here to the bottom of the 5th. 4-3 the score, but we'll be back after this here on Fox 9 Live.
I think the future's looking up from here.
Just the ability to do what you want.
It's like being able to hug my friends.
They're finally getting to come out and see the baby.
Sunshine and bars and restaurants open.
Getting back to my old lifestyle.
Just being out today and seeing all the people.
Any chance I get to connect with people is sought after nowadays.
We're planning a get together with all our buddies.
Just seeing people being reunited.
And we're back here on Fox 9 Live as we're in the bottom of inning number 5. 4-3 is the score, as it'll be the top of the order for the Buffalo Bulldogs. 1, 2, and 3. Colton Haight, Cal James, and Jake Dusky step in for the Bulldogs here on Fox 9 Live. And we'll bring back in Don Mitchell. And Don, what have you thought so far of the game? I mean, obviously a big bottom of the first for the Bulldogs, but, the Orphans, they're not going away quietly.
They're not. When it was 4-1, I was thinking, this is the makings of breaking it open, right? And then you always love a good game, but when we're here featuring Buffalo, you want a great game, but you don't want it to be too tight, if that makes sense. So, we love you, Howard Lake Orphans, but so far we're getting everything that we wanted. And I was just bonding with the woman I sat down next to here, Sue. She's originally from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. I grew up the next town over.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes. I'm like meeting a home slice.
Wow.
So for me, this is fantastic. Thank you.
Well, we're appreciated. I'm thankful to be here. It's an honor to be on Fox 9 Live and call a game here on a Wednesday night. Nowhere else really I'd rather be on a Wednesday night as this one's ripped foul as Colton Haight still on the deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And You got to be careful over there in the parking lot. That's one of the unique features is the parking lot is right there, so maybe there's some insurance salesman or something here to replace some windows.
You know, I thought about it because I almost pulled up right there, and I'm like, I think I'm just going to park over at an angle where it would almost be physically impossible to hit it.
Yes, but somehow, some way, somebody always gets a dent, but regardless. Don, so tell me about just, you know, when the winter and spring sports come and then the summer comes, how do you really manage to transition just because there's so many different sports that you have to cover? I mean, is there one in particular that you kind of like more than the others, or what's your favorite sport to cover?
Oh, you know, here's the thing. I am the Vikings beat reporter, so I love all sports. I would say hockey growing up I loved to watch the most. I always do it by watch, play, and enjoy, okay? So to watch growing up the whole time, hockey. My dad is a former baseball player. I had my first glove when I was like in 3rd grade. He oiled it, put the twine around it, rolled the car over it, so his daughter, when she caught it in right field, it would pop. So I played baseball. So baseball was what I enjoyed. The whole going to Fenway Park and then Wrigley, and we did a tour of like baseball fields. So I love that. So I just think it's almost like with the change of seasons, I get a new breath of fresh air. So
that makes sense. You know, I think a lot of sports fans go through that as this one's hit up to Anderson and the pitcher's mound. A high throw, but they'll get him over at first as that goes 1-3 for out number 2. Jake Dusky steps in, who made a phenomenal play in the top of the 5th to get that out. As we'll have to find that one later and rewatch it. But Dusky steps in. He's 2 for 2, 1 for 1 tonight. He walked in the bottom of the 3rd, but one of their best players on the team. That was one of the things for the Bulldogs. They've got so many hitters, and they average around 12 runs per game. That's just impressive to see a team that, especially where, you know, they take a season off, they come back, and, you know, they're just in the thick of things.
What I really enjoyed, too, is the just the attitude of the players, like because they're out here and they're talented. They come in with 1 loss under their belt, but they're also, like we said, still having fun. So they're keeping it in perspective in terms of let's stay loose, have fun, and the wins will come. That's a great way to look at it.
Especially when there's so many young kids here to learn from that as well. But Don, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Again, Don Mitchell, Fox 9. You'll hear her all the time on Fox 9, so we appreciate Don coming up here. We'll head to the top of inning number 6, 4-3 the score, a good one here in Buffalo. We'll be back after this on Fox 9 Live.
High school state tournament time is coming quickly, and PrepSpotlight.tv is your place to watch the chase for the state championships. Full coverage of the state softball tournament from North Mankato begins on June 15th and ends with 4 title games on June 16th. You will see every round of the state lacrosse tournament from Rosemount. The girls' championship is on June 18th, the boys on the 19th. Track and field at St. Michael Albertville begins on June 17th, and you can watch every athlete, every event in both classes. And the boys' baseball tournament will be covered from quarterfinals on June 15th through the big championship day at Target Field on Friday, June 18th. If you can't be at the games, you can watch it all at PrepSpotlight.tv.
More is better, and Fox 9 now has more. More streaming, more local stories, more shows, and, well, more. Go ahead, try it out, and discover more on the Fox 9 News app and at fox9.com.
We're in the top of inning number 6, 4-3 the score. Again, our thanks to Don Mitchell from Fox 9 joining us here and taking us through what it's like to cover so many towns like this, especially this summer, as hitting the road and seeing a bunch of different baseball teams and just enjoying the summer, kind of what we missed last year as a quick out. And he's going to be safe. Good hustle down the first baseline by Jake Gruenhagen. He's on. That was just going to be a tough play. You got to say that's an infield single. So Gruenhagen is on here in the top of the 6th, 4-3 the score. And I thought that was one of the big things Don alluded to there in the bottom of the 5th is how these guys do take this game seriously, but you see them at the end of the game. They're maybe not always happy if they lose, but still they know it's enjoyable to be here. That's why they come out here, and they see so many different kids out here that want to be where they are someday, or maybe farther on in their careers as well. So one of the important things of this town ball that sticks with me, especially growing up where town ball was a big thing and families just kept pumping kids through the town ball leagues, things like that, and it's kind of died down back where I grew up. But that's one of the big things, is just having that rich history and keeping that alive some way, somehow, and that's what these guys are doing here in Buffalo. This one is down the first baseline, but it's dropped, so it's going to keep them alive here. Brad Bickman in the cleanup spot. 5 hits so far for Howard Lake. Again, a very still night. Had a little bit of a breeze at the start of the game, just after 7 o'clock there. And now the flag is barely moving just behind the home dugout here in Buffalo. That one is driven into the dirt for ball number 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Early pitching well, looks in. Runner at first. Comes with a pitch, a swing and a miss there. Strike number 3 as Bickman is sat down on strikes. Strikeout number 3 for Early on the mound. And now right fielder Cole Macheski steps in. 1 for 2 tonight. A single in the top of the 4th. Got over to second. And now Macheski again steps in. Righty versus righty matchup. Early out of the stretch. Looks in. The high leg kick. They'll send him from first to second. Throw down to second. Not in time. A stolen base for Jake Gruenhagen. And he's on second with 1 away. Gets him into scoring position. So the tying run at second base. 1 away here after the strikeout from Bickman. Again, the 3rd strikeout tonight on the mound for Early. The 2-2. Excuse me, it's across for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1. Swing and a miss there. Big swing from Macheski as he wanted to drive that one. Had a big rip at it. Swung right through it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good pitch from Early as he's looking for a quick inning of work with just a 1-run lead in the top of the 6th. Looks back at second. Will come forward on the outside part of the plate. Misses with the ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. And that one in the dirt almost got away from Haight behind the plate. Colton Haight. He's behind the plate tonight. Over at first is Kai Brisk. At second is Jake Dusky. Over at third base is Cal James. At shortstop is Noah Christensen, left to right in the outfield. J.D. O'Donnell out in left field. Over to shortstop. Easy play at shortstop. Goes to third for the tag out, and they're going to say he is out. So a heads-up play at shortstop to get the out as Gruenhagen is thrown out. Goes 6-3. Macheski reaches. Ramon Vega Jr. out in center field and out in right field. That's Brett Renshaw. You heard Don mention Ramon Vega Jr. His dad's actually going to get inducted to the Hall of Fame, I believe, this week, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast. So part of that history here for the Buffalo Bulldogs of baseball that just runs in the family here across the community. two away here, top of inning number 6. This one's hit over to shortstop. Easy out at second base as it goes 6-5 to end the top of the 6th inning. No runs, just one hit, no errors, one left on base. 4-3 the score, bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs are due up next. We'll be back after this on Fox 9 Live.
Fox 9 News at 7 on Fox 9 Plus, the Twin Cities' only local news at 7. Here's where you can find Fox 9 Plus in your area.
And welcome back. Bottom of inning number 6 here in Buffalo as we are in a close one. The Bulldogs lead it by 1. And want to remind you, be sure to keep an eye on Fox 9 News tonight at 10 for a look at all the fun and festivities from today's Town Ball Tour stop in Buffalo. Remember, next Wednesday, Fox 9 visits Delano as Athletics hosts the Loretto Larks for Week 3 on the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour. Delano, that's another great place for baseball. If you haven't been over to their field yet, I highly recommend it. Very impressive facility over there in Delano, the 4th of July in Delano. One of the first things I heard about when I first made my way into Minnesota is you got to go check out the 4th of July celebration in Delano. I've yet to do that. Last year, a tough out for any 4th of July celebrations because of COVID, but I'm trying to get over there this year and see what that is all about, especially when we're able to go do more things this summer. That's one of the best parts of this summer, just being able to come out and see some baseball, especially like this tonight, some North Star League baseball. J.D. O'Donnell, he'll start things off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He reached in the top of the first, flew out to left field in the bottom of the 3rd, and now he'll step on with a 1-run lead here in the bottom of inning number 6. And the first pitch to O'Donnell, he skies this one. The shortstop has a play. Alex Bauman is right there in short center field to make the first out in the bottom of the 6th. That'll clear the batter's box for Ramon Vega Jr. 0 for 2 tonight officially. Looking for his first hit of the ball game. Brett Renshaw is due up after Vega Jr. Got to give credit to Bennett Anderson out on the mound this evening after a brutal bottom of the 1st. 4 runs in that bottom of the 1st that he gave up. He's battled back and he's put up 4 straight scoreless innings, trying to do the same here for a 5th straight scoreless inning, and he's looking good so far. 1 away, and he just threw a ball to Vega Jr. 1-0 the count here in the bottom of the 6th. The windup, and that one is outside for ball number 2. The 2-0, a big rip there from Vega Jr., and he wanted a piece of that, especially on a 2-0 pitch. That's oftentimes where you let it fly, and that's exactly what he tried to do. Just didn't get a good eye on the ball, and now he's looking at a 2 balls, 1 strike, and rips on this one, carrying down the 3rd base line. Shortstop has a play. Back-to-back outs made by Alex Bauman over at shortstop. This time he's ranging to his right for out number 2. That'll mean Brett Renshaw steps in. 1 for 1 tonight. A big hit. A 2-run blast in the bottom of the 1st. Made it 4-1. He walked in the bottom of the 4th, and we'll try to get back on base here in the bottom of inning number 6. In the top of the 7th, it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Howard Lake Orphans as they'll look to the bottom of the order to get things going. And the 7th. And the 0-1. That's in for strike number 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here. Bottom of the 6th. That one is in for strike number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Exactly what Howard Lake needed defensively. To the top of the 7th they go. 4-3 the score. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Orphans when we come back. This is North Star League Baseball on the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour on Fox 9 Live. Top of the 7th inning here on Fox 9 Live. 4-3 the score, 5 hits apiece for both sides. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Howard Lake Orphans. Again, my name is Mark Fry. Happy to be with you on Fox 9 Live. Greg Wolfert is producing. Charles Brolin behind the camera on this Wednesday night as the sun continues to set in the northwest as they do the 50-50 raffle here just outside the first base dugout at Bentfield Mills Park. Want to remind you, coming up next week on PrepSpotlight.tv, it'll be the high school state baseball and softball tournaments. Plenty of action next week. Hopefully it cools off a little bit. First pitch swinging here in the top of the 7th and an out as it goes 6-3 as Brock Ells sits down on the first pitch of the 7th inning. So with 1 away, Sam Kittock is headed to the batter's box. Number 2, 0 for 2 tonight. Kittock grounded out to the first baseman. Also, actually grounded out to the pitcher in his first at-bat, and then grounded out to second in the top of the 5th. Early winds and fires and half-hearted swing there from Kittock, and he's down 0-1. 3 strikeouts again on the mound for Early so far in this one. Sounded like a broken bat almost. Grounds out to first, 1 unassisted, or 3 unassisted, excuse me. And that'll be Matt Strike steps into the plate. Trying to keep this one alive in the top of the 7th. Howard Lake, they were originally known as the Blue Sox. That era of the Blue Sox ended way back in World War II. Then Don Mitchell resurrected the team in 1947. That team continued to 1995, and then that's when the Orphans resurrected. They went to the state tournament their first year ever as the Orphans. That was back in 1995, and they've made 14 state tournaments since then. Their first state tournament coming back in 1951. And in 1951, that's actually when the North Star League got started. So 70 years for the North Star League this year. And man, it would be fun to do a family tree of all the talent that's made its way through the North Star League baseball. I'm sure that would take a lot of time just to figure out the families, the connections, this town against that town, the records, all that kind of stuff. I'm sure somebody keeps some pretty good records out there of town ball statistics. It'd be fun to just kind of peruse through that and hear the stories that have come out of ball diamonds like Bentfield Mills Park or out in Howard Lake, just off the shores of Howard Lake. That's where their baseball field is. As a 2-out walk sends strike down to first base. Now to the top of the order for Alex Bauman, as they'll have a meeting on the mound and they'll take the baseball, and that'll be it for John Early. So he goes 6 2/3 innings here with 3 strikeouts. He'll come out to a round of applause, and it looks like they're going to make a pitching change here, as it looks like John Weber is coming out to the mound, and we'll get some stats here for John Weber. So they go from John Early to John Weber.
Number 10, John Weber.
Weber 6 innings pitched so far, 3 games played. We'll see what he can do on the mound here, as they'll go to the lefty in the bullpen with 2 away here, top of inning number 7. 4-3 the score, and you got to give a tip of the cap to John Early. Battled, and he's in the line for the win if they can hold on here tonight, with 1 runner on over at first in the top of the 7th. Again, 3 strikeouts, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs. All those, or 5 hits and just 3 runs, excuse me. Those 3 runs all earned. So officially 3 strikeouts for John Early. John Weber comes in with some limited action so far this year. As I did say, he's pitched 6 innings, a good reliever for the Bulldogs. And we'll face top of the order for Alex Bauman. 0 for 3 tonight, and looking to get things going at the top of the order with Noah Bush on deck. 2 away here, top of inning number 7. The lefty looks over at first and deals out of the stretch for strike number 1, coming out firing with a first pitch strike. Bauman again 0 for 3 tonight, couple of strikeouts. He accounted for 2 of the 3 strikeouts that John Early tossed on the mound in his 6 2/3 inning. They'll send him from first to second. That one goes off the catcher's mitt, as Haight will turn around and just watch strike get over to second. Crowd still going strong here tonight. The first and third base line still lined with lawn chairs as the sun continues to set. A breaking ball on the outside for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Helping the temperature out just a bit as that sun continues to go down, and now a tree is in the way, so out of my eyes, so that's good. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chopped down the first base line, goes foul. And they'll reset it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away, top of inning number 7. 7, 8, and 9 hitters are due up in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be Kai Brisk, Noah Christensen, and Josh Fusi for the Buffalo Bulldogs. Fusi is that designated hitter. We'll see if John Weber steps in to hit or not. I imagine Fusi will stay in his hitting spot. Here's the 1-2. This one is launched back and heads up in the concession stand, and it doesn't look like it got anybody as the kids go running for it into the parking lot. The 1-2, 2 away here, top of the 7th, runner at second. Lifted out to right field and caught out in right field by Renshaw. No runs across for the Orphans, as it's still 4-3 to the bottom of the 7th we go. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the 7th. This is Fox 9 Town Ball on Fox 9 Live.
High school state tournament time is coming quickly, and PrepSpotlight.tv is your place to watch the chase for the state championships. Full coverage of the state softball tournament from North Mankato begins on June 15th and ends with 4 title games on June 16th. You will see every round of the state lacrosse tournament from Rosemount. The girls' championship is on June 18th, the boys on the 19th. Track and field at St. Michael Albertville begins on June 17th, and you can watch every athlete, every event in both classes. And the boys' baseball tournament will be covered from quarterfinals on June 15th through the big championship day at Target Field on Friday, June 18th. If you can't be at the games, you can watch it all at prepspotlight.tv.
Following the 7th inning stretch, we're ready for the bottom of inning number 7 tonight from Bentfield Mills Park in Buffalo, Minnesota. Kai Brisk steps in. 0 for 2 tonight. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Bulldogs. And the pitch misses on the outside for ball number 1. Anderson enters his 7th inning of work. John Early again for the Bulldogs, 6 2/3. This one is laced down the third baseline, goes foul. Early for the Bulldogs, 6 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. All 3 of them earned 3 strikeouts. The 2-1 from Anderson out of the windup. Again, just a little late and sends that foul. The Bulldogs, some lofty goals in this season. Again, 4-1 in the North Star League. Their goal, they want to win the league, get the number 1 seed in regions, and finish the top 4 in regions to make it to the state tournament. They won 3 games last year and lost to Fairmont in the state tournament. Fairmont, the eventual winner of last year's state tournament. The 2-2, another one launched foul as Brisk on it, just trying to straighten that one out. Anderson's got to be careful. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Don't want to let something just across the heart of the plate. And again, the 2-2. And after all that, that one's chopped over to third base, gloved at third, and a running throw. Beautiful play by Bickman at third to make the out. 5-3 for the first out in the bottom of the 7th. A tough play there for Bickman. Running towards first base, gathered himself nicely and threw it out over at first. Again, Brad Bickman showing off the throw in the wheels at third base. They Noah Christensen due up now for 1 for 2 tonight. Had a single in the bottom of the 4th. Chop to third again. Bickman, a busy guy over there. Back-to-back 5-3s for out number 2, and now Josh Fusi steps in.
Designated hitter, Josh Fusi.
Fusi reached in the bottom of the 2nd. Grounded out to third in the bottom of the 4th. They're trying to keep it alive in the bottom of inning number 7. Anderson looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Starts on Fusi with a strike. No balls, 1 strike here. 2 away, bottom of inning number 7.
What happens if they go past
And back across with the ball, evens things up at 1-1. The 1-1, that one on the outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, want to thank Don Mitchell from Fox 9 coming up here in the 5th inning, staying with us just a little bit longer and talking some baseball, just talking about what drew them here to Buffalo. Why come out to Buffalo and investigate what's going on with Buffalo Bulldogs baseball. And you guessed it, you know, those stories that you just try to find in the town, in the community, the families that are so closely tied to this baseball team. A 2-2 and a strikeout. And Josh Fusi not agreeing with it, but a 1-2-3 inning for the Orphans. And they'll head to the top of the 8th. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Howard Lake in the top of the 8th. We're back after this on Fox 9 Live.
Brand new press box out here at Bentfield.
High school state tournament time is coming quickly, and PrepSpotlight.tv is your place to watch the chase for the state championships. Full coverage of the state softball tournament from North Mankato begins on June 15th and ends with 4 title games on June 16th. You will see every round of the state lacrosse tournament from Rosemount. The girls' championship is on June 18th, the boys on the 19th. Track and field at St. Michael Albertville begins on June 17th, and you can watch every athlete, every event in both classes. And the boys' baseball tournament will be covered from quarterfinals on June 15th to the big championship day at Target Field on Friday, June 18th. If you can't be at the games, you can watch it all at PrepSpotlight.tv.
Top of inning number 8, 4-3 the score. Howard Lake sends their 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the dish here in the top of inning number 8. That one is a cross for ball number 1. Weber starting his first full inning of work on the mound here in the top of the 8th. Came in the 7th with just 1 out to get. And Bush, a big rip there, tried to go golfing for it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Would have been interesting to see where that one ended up, especially a swing like that when you're going low for a pitch like that. But still 1 ball, 1 strike. And a tight one here in Buffalo. 4-3 the score. And now 2-1. Both teams with 5 hits tonight, just 1 error on the scoreboard charged to the Bulldogs. Fouled back into the backstop. Just hits the top of the backstop. Would have gone back in to the concession stand area, but the fence stops it and runs it even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weber, the lefty, deals. Lifted out into center field. Coming up. Can't find it. And the right fielder comes out of nowhere as the center fielder Vega Jr. couldn't see it. Renshaw dove for it. And now Bush is in at second. So Vega Jr. having trouble out there, and then Renshaw coming out of nowhere made his best effort to try to stop it, just couldn't get to it, and now a runner. The tying run is at second in Noah Bush, and Jake Gruenhagen steps in at the plate. And it is a base hit there for Bush. O'Donnell, Vega Jr., and Renshaw left to right in the outfield. Trying to play some small ball over to the pitcher, and the tag at third is in time. My goodness, Noah Bush had a late jump, it looked like, and John Weber a heads-up play to get it over to James at third. 1-3-1 away here. Gruenhagen, a good bunt as Bush just looked like he wasn't able to get off a second in time and got caught over at third. So that takes care of Bush for now. There's a big play there. Heads-up play by Weber. So Gruenhagen at first. Brad Bickman at the plate now. 1 for 2 tonight. An RBI for him in the top of the first. A strikeout as well. Was hit by a pitch in the top of the fourth. Came around to score in the top of the fourth. He's part of that big inning where they scored 2 runs in the top of the fourth to put him within 1. 4-3, the score remains. And on the outside for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maybe a frustration pitch there from Weber. Looking for a double play. Gruenhagen takes the lead over at first. And that one misses for ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's been one of the things ever since Weber's came in. The lefty has a clear look at first. However, the runners for Howard Lake really haven't taken that to heart. They've been getting some pretty big leads over there at first, and now they'll throw it over and keep Gruenhagen honest at first, back in plenty of time as they'll reset on the 2-1. And they'll throw it. Now they have him on a run down as Gruenhagen is caught between first and second and tagged out. Well done by the Bulldogs. So poor base running here in the top of the 8th has the Howard Lake Orphans down to 2 outs now. And now Brad Bickman will step in and try to make something now out of nothing, really. No runners on after Gruenhagen goes down in the rundown. So Bickman steps in, no runners on. 2 away here, 2 balls, 1 strike. Weber out of the windup and chops this one to third. Should be routine for James over at third. Cross the diamond and out. Delayed call, 5-3 to end the top of the 8th. So a sigh of relief for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 8th. They head to the bottom of the 8th. And it's the top of the order for the Bulldogs. Colton Haight, Cal James, Jake Dusky coming up in the bottom of the 8th. This is Fox 9 Town Ball Baseball on Fox 9 Live.
Thanks for watching Fox 9's Town Ball Tour. Here's where we're headed this summer. Join us next Wednesday in Delano on fox9.com.
And a good shot at the crowd here tonight. Some of the kids here catching a baseball game on a Wednesday night. Getting a look at where the Fox 9 crew had their live shots set up as well earlier tonight. Plenty of stuff going on here. They really came out and put on a party here on a Wednesday night in Buffalo. Happy to be with you tonight as just a gorgeous night for baseball. And from where we started at about 2 o'clock this afternoon, I got here at around 5 o'clock with how hot it was, and it's just turned out to be a picture-perfect night for baseball. Now the wind continues to blow here into the baseball diamond out of the northwest, and just an absolutely beautiful night. We could use some rain, though, and that rain hopefully could come at some point, but it has held off here tonight in Buffalo, Minnesota. 1, 2, 3 hitters due up here in the top or bottom of inning number 8. 4-3 is the score. 6 hits for the Orphans, 5 hits for the Bulldogs, just 1 error. And again, Colton Haight steps up. 1 for 3 tonight. Started off the night with a double, came around to score on the RBI from Jake Dusky. And now Colton Haight again at the dish. Anderson winds and fires a breaking ball on the inside. Looked like a good pitch, and it was for strike number 1. Just on that inside part of the plate. We've seen both pitchers on both sides really working the outside part of the plate tonight. And a good spot there from Anderson. The 0-1 from Anderson. Hit over to shortstop. Good glove at shortstop as over to first. Not in time. Haight showing off the speed there. And he's on with a single.
Third baseman, Cal James.
I just call that a good hit. But they will call it an error. That's a tough one, especially, Alex Bauman looked like he made a good play. But Haight with the speed, so he reaches on the error. So officially one error for both sides tonight on the scoreboard. I'm a little more generous in my scorebook, apparently, than others are. 4-3 the score. And Haight takes a lead over at first. The pitch misses for ball number 1. Jake Dusky due up here as well. One of the guys that can electrify this offense, and looking for some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th. As in the top of the 9th, the Orphans will try to get things going with their 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up to try to tie and possibly push ahead a go-ahead run. And a check over at first. Haight back in plenty of time. This one fouled back. And 2 balls, 1 strike. Haight takes the lead over at first. Anderson turns over, looks over at first, puts his foot in front of the rubber, and looks in. They'll send him from first to second. A hit and run. It looks like a beautifully executed hit and run. Haight round second, over to third. We'll see if he tests it. He's coming home all the way from first. And now James stretching out the triple. Going to be a close play, an RBI triple. Makes it 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th. An insurance run that the Bulldogs were looking for comes via the bat of Cal James here in the bottom of the 8th. Beautifully executed hit and run there from Cal James, and just put it right in front of the center fielder. Rolled all the way to the fence, and Haight with that speed that we saw on his, what I would rule a infield single, however it was ruled an error. He speeds around all the way home to make it 5-3 in the bottom of inning number 8. Now Jake Dusky steps in, and to start off the game, he was one of our impact players to look for tonight. He has 3 of now the team's 6 home runs. The 6th home run for the Bulldogs coming in the bottom of the first via Brett Renshaw, 2-run blast. And a good breaking ball. That one looked like it was going to be right on the outside, tailed back in. And just a good pitch there from Anderson. And that misses as he runs it even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dusky, great opportunity to add another insurance run. 5-3, runner 90 feet away at third. James takes the lead. And that one misses, 2 balls, 1 strike. 6 hits officially now for both sides. Out of the windup. This one lifted out to left field as Gels is there to make the catch. Tagging from third, James will score on the sac fly from Dusky. That makes it 6-3 in the bottom of the 8th via the sac fly from Dusky. He's got 2 runs driven in tonight. And his team, more importantly, now has a 3-run lead. 6-3 the score, bottom of the 8th. JT O'Donnell steps in. 1 for 3 tonight, an RBI single in the bottom of the first. He fouls this one back, heads up in the concession area, and now the kids will go run for that foul ball. as we approach the 9 o'clock hour here tonight in Buffalo. No one away. Swing and a miss there from J.D. O'Donnell. Be sure to keep an eye on Fox 9 News tonight at 9:30 for a look at all the fun and festivities from today's Town Ball Tour stop in Buffalo. Remember, next Wednesday, Fox 9 visits Delano as the Athletics host the Loretto Larks for Week 3 of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour as strike number 3 to J.D. O'Donnell.
Junior, Ramon Vega, Jr.
Fourth strikeout on the mound for Bennett Anderson. And Ramon Vega Jr. steps in. Officially 0 for 3 tonight. He's put the ball in play, though, all 3 times. Just some tough luck out there trying to find a hole in this Howard Lake defense. Here's the first pitch, and across for strike number 1. Big swing there from Vega Jr. Vega Jr. looks like a guy, if he got a hold of a baseball, he could probably send it over the scoreboard. He just swings as hard as he can and basically on every pitch. Here's the 0-1 with 2 away. That one right up the middle. Got Anderson on the mound. Anderson collects himself, gets it over to first. As that goes 1-3, they'll have to see if Anderson's okay. He'll walk off, shakes some hands, says, I'm okay. But 2 runs are across, 6-3 the score. The Bulldogs get the insurance runs. They'll see if they can put them away here in the top of the 9th as it's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Orphans when we come back. 6-3 the score. This is Fox 9 Live.
This is Fox 9 Plus.
Let's get started, everybody.
Today's biggest talkers.
Charles and I have been talking about this all morning.
Award-winning comedy.
This gets better and better.
Minnesota's only local news at 7.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Plus,
More good news.
a whole lot more.
More than this?
More than we can use.
Game shows, court shows,
Now we're getting somewhere.
your shows. Fox 9 Plus, something for everyone.
Six-3 the score, and the top of inning number 9. Do or die time for the Howard Lake Orphans now as they send once again the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Cole Macheski steps in. He is 1 for 3 tonight. And needs to get things rolling here in the top of inning number 9. Beautiful night under the lights here. Finally, the sun has set. You can't even see it over the tree line to the northwest here in Buffalo. The first pitch at the top of the 9th is fouled off. That'll be out of play behind into the parking lot for strike number 1. No balls, 1 strike. Again, John Early is in line for the win. It would be his 3rd win this year in North Star League play. The lefty delivers. For strike number 2, no balls, 2 strikes. Look at the protect here now. Macheski steps in. They need a base runner. Anyway, anyhow. And the 0-2. Weber winds and deals. Fouled off. This goes down the first baseline, out of play, and no barehanded play by any of the kids out in the lawn, so they'll reset 0-2. And the 0-2. Just on the outside part of the plate for the first ball. Busy month of June for both of these teams as a beautiful pitch. That just misses low, even things up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Next up for Howard Lake, they'll be at the Cokato Colonels coming up on the 11th, so on Friday, and Buffalo will host Delano coming up on Friday right here at Bentfield Mills Park. This one is hit over to shortstop. Line drive out, though, as Christensen just steps to his left. Didn't even have to take a step to his left. Just put the glove out, got the out. Mitchell Bauman steps in, the catcher. 1 for 3 tonight, and a pair of runs driven in. in the top of the fourth. 6-3 the score. Weber winds, fires, and delivers on the outside part of the plate for strike. Again, Dave Malley and Rich Lindsay, the umpires tonight, doing a great job. Braving the heat, the 0-1. Lifted foul behind the stands here, hits the pavement, goes rolling back into the dirt for the 0-2. Once again, a shout out to the Buffalo community here tonight on Fox 9, coming out in full force on both sides here in the grandstands as well. Just showing love for their hometown 9 here, the Bulldogs. A swing and a miss, a strikeout, so 1 out away from getting a win here tonight in front of the crowd at Bentfield Mills Park. It'll be Brock Gallows 0 for 3 tonight. What a time to get your first hit of the night to try to keep it alive. Gallows with the game on his shoulders now. Again, 6 hits, just 1 error, and that's for both sides here tonight. Weber winds, fires, and misses with ball number 1. 2 away here on the second week of the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour. Again, I want to thank Don Mitchell one last time from Fox 9 Sports coming out to talk with us and share her experience here in Buffalo, and Fox 9 reporters been out here virtually all day telling the story of Buffalo Bulldog baseball, how the team likes to shotgun Red Bulls before the game. That I don't know if I need to try that. On the outside for ball number 2, 2 balls, 1 strike. I think those Red Bulls came to life in the bottom of the first inning with 4 runs. And this one should do it. Hit out to center field, and that's actually going to drop in front of him. Vega Jr. never saw it, so that's been twice that he's had a tough time tracking the ball. So Gals with a base hit, reaches with 2 away. Sam Kiddock steps in, the designated hitter, with a runner on first. Kiddock 0 for 3 tonight. Out of the stretch, Weber delivers and misses with ball number 1. The 1-0 is in for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Takes a lead over at first. Big swing from Kittock, and now they're down to their final strike in the top of the 9th. Gels takes a lead over at first. Weber will focus on the hitter here with Justin out away. Good crowd here tonight in Buffalo, and they're looking to see their team improve to 5-1 on the season with a 6-3 win here tonight if Weber can get this final strike across the plate and end it with a strikeout. He'll look in, looks over at first, and delivers. Head out to right field, should be it, and that's the ball game. 6-3 the final tonight, as once again the Buffalo Bulldogs 5-1 now with the win. Howard Lake falls to 2-3 in the North Star League baseball. And the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour comes to a close in week number 2 with the Buffalo Bulldogs getting the victory 6-3. 7 hits for the Orphans tonight, just 1 error. 6 hits tonight for the Bulldogs. The big inning coming in that bottom of the first for the Bulldogs, and they got those 2 insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th to put it away 6-3. John Early gets his 3rd win of the year. John Weber with a save. A beautiful night of baseball here in Buffalo. as we'll close things up here tonight. Once again, the final score 6-3. Our thanks to Don Mitchell once again for coming up, talking some sports with us from Fox 9 Sports. For Greg Wolfert, Charles Brolin, and Andy Price, I'm Mark Fry saying so long and good night. This has been Fox 9 Live, the Fox 9 Town Ball Tour from Bentfield Mills Park in Buffalo, Minnesota. Good night, everybody.